All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Real Talk video. I pray you are still doing well and having a wonderful, blessed day as we give the Most High all the honor, the glory, and all the praise and worship. My title says, I'm living for my kids. I am living for my kids, my children, my wife. This is a video response back to you, 14306. Powerful email about us as parents and what we're supposed to do for our children. I want to use this title because in this life, there are a lot of selfish parents. What do I mean by that? They act like they wanted kids at first, and then when the kids got here, the children got here, it became a problem for them. And now you know I'm not talking about all parents. There are good parents out here, dynamic parents out here, and then there are parents out here that shouldn't have never been parents because they knew that from the get-go that they really didn't want children. Somebody will catch that later. And that's how we got so many scarred children. But the reason I want to use this title, because so many parents have a selfish mindset. When you hear me say I'm living for my children, see, when I was in my single days, in my single life, that was a different story. That was another life for me. You know, I was doing what I want, when I want, how I want it, and didn't have to answer to nobody. But I did still have to answer to the Most High. But most men, especially men, let me hit us real hard for a moment. That's why the Bible say, fathers, raise your children. Fathers, don't provoke your children into anger. Most men don't understand you cannot have a selfish mindset like you're going to be all about yourself and you forget about raising your children. We ought to pave the way for our children. Our children are supposed to learn from us. I'm living for my babies. And I pray that my babies don't have to go through a lot of stuff that I went through. I pray that. That's my prayer. Even though when they get older, ain't no telling what shape this world gonna be in by that time set. But it's our job to pave the way, to teach, to correct. How can you do that if you're in the penitentiary? Mm. How can you do that if you're in jail? Better yet, how can you do that if you 6 feet deep? See, we got to answer to these old selfish moves we have done, selfish choices we have done in this life. But every man that missed out on his child growing up, I hate that for you because you missing the blessing. But just like my son, it's my job to teach my son, not to be my son's friend, but to be my son's father. To teach him right from wrong. To teach my little daughter right from wrong. To teach my oldest daughter right from wrong. They supposed to look up to me and use me as an example. But we got a lot of bad examples out here, and I'm not doing this video to down talk nobody. So I had to remember once I said I do and took on my wife and my children, it was no longer about JT. I'm living for my children now. That way when I pass on, sad thing is in our race, we don't hardly leave our babies nothing. That's why the Bible teaches you about a righteous man, a wise man, and how that type of man, a godly man, looks out for his children's children. We supposed to live this life and leaving our children with something. Y'all remember when I taught about this years ago? To leave them with something. That's why I always pray that they can have that house when I'm gone. Now, are they gonna make their mistakes? Yes. We all done it. We as parents make mistakes. Before you was a parent, you made mistakes. But you live and you learn. So we can't have a selfish mentality that's going through this life like it's all about me. I know I got kids, man, but hey, they got to learn on their own. It wasn't easy for me when I was growing up. Man, we gotta pave the way. That's why it's so hard for the single mama. That's why it's so hard for the single father. Balance needs to be in every child's life, but every child don't have balance. And it makes it harder for that child to grow up without balance. You see a one-sided story. Well, all I had was mama. Well, all I had was daddy. Because there are some single dads out there raising children on their own. That's not an easy job. Being a man in this jacked up satanic world system is not easy by a long shot. It ain't easy for you as women either. But we have to understand as leaders, we got to guide and teach our children to be on guard against this world. Prepare them for what's to come. Sad thing is, in most of these churches, I ain't gonna say all of them, even a lot of preachers are not even teaching what needs to be said. Most people are getting caught off guard because they are not prepared for nothing. You've been brainwashed by this system. Oh, I didn't mean to take it there, but I might as well take it there since I done said it. We've been programmed our whole entire life pretty much to fall for the beast system, that control system, that the more they give to you, the more they're going to control you. I'm not trying to be funny by saying this, but if you've been dependent on the government system, all your life, what are you going to pass down to your children? How to be controlled even more? What can you actually pass down if we don't learn how to store up stuff for ourselves, learn how to invest in ourselves and have things on our own? When we pass on, what are we gonna leave our children? Teach them how to be on Section 8. Teach them how to keep the food stamps going. Teach them how to depend on the government. Most of the churches are dependent on the government. That's not what the Most High showed us in His Word. What are we leaving? What are we leaving behind? One thing I love about my oldest brother, Big JT. Big JT works hard, and he said, "I never want to be the one where my children won't have nothing." He said, "That's why I work so hard now for them, for their lives." So they can have that house. They can have vehicles to drive in. Not only do he look out for his children with that, but he look out for others in the family, brothers. That's a great mindset to have. That's a great way to be in this life. So as I look at my children, as I'm always providing and praying over them and Father, what else can I do? Teach me how to be a better man than I am. We have to understand it's not about us. Because once I'm gone, I need to know that Jay gonna be the man that the Most High need him to be, and the man that I taught him how to be, and to treat the woman of his life, his wife, the same way I treat his mama. That's the example the children need to see. I need to know that my baby girl gonna get a man that worked hard, who loves the Most High, who's gonna be on top of his game, who's going to be a single-minded man and not a double-minded man who's unstable in all his way. I'm teaching my baby girl, I will teach her that. Teach my oldest, don't you ever fall for nothing like that. So men, we are held accountable, very high accountable, for the way we are raising our babies. It ain't gonna be an excuse enough, good enough on that day when you gotta stand and give an account for your life, and that question gonna come with what happened with you and your children. Well, yeah, well, you know, God, you know my heart. You know I was started another family over there. I know I had babies over here and babies over there. Them excuses ain't gonna do no good. Fathers, don't provoke your child into anger. I'm gonna leave that alone, y'all. That's my time, but y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. Take care. Shalom.